after nurses voted to go on strike for the first time ever.
Midwives matter!
Midwives say they too face a crisis. During protests across the country, they warned mothers and babies are at risk.
A lot of women are very frightened now. Midwives are fearful because they're now recognising the enormity of the problem going on for the surveys.
Benjamin was born at the hospital in Birmingham where his mother works as a midwife.
The care we got was exceptional, but then seeing the other side and just how horrific it is for the midwives and knowing that they're not able to give that care to everyone all the time, it's heartbreaking.
But she believes it's obvious why maternity wards are so understaffed.
So coming out of university with a minimum 60 grand debt, why would you do it when you can get the same amount of money for working in Waitrose and have a really nice life? You don't have to work 13 hours plus without having a wee, without having something to eat when you work for another company.
The warnings from midwives come as nursing leaders warn that unless the government open detailed negotiations with them, they'll announce strike days in December. That would come right in the middle of what's already expected to be a very difficult winter for the NHS. It faces the perfect storm, huge waiting lists, an ageing population and a recruitment crisis. Latest figures show that the number of vacant NHS jobs in England has reached a record high of more than 132,000. That means almost 1 in 10 jobs aren't filled, including more than 46,000 nursing posts. Pay for nurses has fallen in real terms over recent years. But despite the struggle to recruit and retain staff, the Health Secretary is standing by his claim that their demands are unreasonable and unaffordable.
What they're asking for is 17.6%. That would be an extra cost for £9 billion on the NHS budget. That, for your viewers, is around 3 times more than those outside the public sector are receiving, and that's why I think that is unreasonable.
But the failure to recruit comes at a cost too.
I think we can be more productive, but the problem is that some of the ways in which we're not productive are a reflection of that lack of investment. So let me give you a couple of examples. We spend a lot of money on agency staff, and that's a very expensive way of employing people, but that's because we don't have that workforce strategy.
And as winter looms, so does a battle between unions and the government, with staff increasingly unwilling to keep propping up the NHS. Becky Johnson, Sky News, Birmingham.